Hello and welcome back everyone. So for my last video, I teach you how to install Python. And now for this video, I will teach you the basic of the Python programming language. So before we get started, we first need a text editor. And you can use any text editor you want, such as Sublime or Notepad++. But I personally like to use Atom, so I recommend that you do as well. And so to download Atom, just go to atom.io, and then click on the download link here, and then follow the setup instruction. So I have Atom open here, and the first thing we need to do is add a project folder. To do that, we go to File and click on Add Project Folder. And I recommend that you add a folder from desktop. So you can go to desktop and create a new folder. Call it whatever you want. I call it Python here. And I recommend that you don't use space in the folder name or file name, because when you work with Windows PowerShell, and if you want to go into a directory that have the space in it, it will just add extra step that you just don't have to do. So just create a file that does not have space in it. So I have created Python, so I will add it into the Atom. Select it, and a bunch of stuff that you can do in Atom is you can create new file or folder in here. So I have created basic here, and so I will create a new Python file. So I right click and click on new file. So I will create new.py, and to make sure that it is a new Python file, make sure that you put a .py at the end to tell Windows that it is a Python file. So let's start learning about Python with the variable. So what is a variable? Variable is basically just a name that store data. For example, I create a name here like my name equal, and the data you want to store like bamboozle. So now I have it. I have a variable called my name, and it store a data bamboozle. So this is one of the variable type in Python, and the next variable type that we're going to learn is list. So I will create a new variable called fruit, and I will add a bunch of stuff into it. So in order to do that, you need to first open a square bracket, then type in whatever you want to put in it. The first thing, let's say apple, and then you separate the first data and the second data by a comma here, and I will add banana, and then orange. Okay, so now I have created a list called fruit, and the data is apple, banana, and orange. So let's first try to understand these two. Let's print my name. Okay, so you need to save it, and let's open Windows PowerShell. Okay, so let's go into the directory of our file. So here in Atom, it says that we are in the C, user, MSI, desktop, and Python directory. So let's go there. We are in MSI right now, so go to desktop and then Python. Oh, and in order to go from one folder to another, just write cd and then the file name. So cd desktop, cd Python, and I have here Python. I have a file basic here, so I will open that file. Okay, cd basic, and so I will try, and to run a Python file, you need to type Python and then the file name. So this is new.py. Let's run the file, and it print bamboozle. So it print the data of my name, bamboozle. Okay, so let's try to print fruit. Make sure to save it in order for it to work. So I have here fruit, and the data is here apple, orange, and banana. And so another function of a list is that you can print variables separately. So a list store data with index. So this is index number 0, because computers start counting from 0. So this is 0, and this is 1, and this is 2. So if we want to, for example, print banana, we can just write fruit and square bracket and number 2. So let's save it and run, and it will print. Oh, I forgot. It's because this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So when I put 2 here, it count here 0, 1, and 2. So 2 is orange, so it will print out orange. Okay, so if I want to print out banana, I will write 1 here, save it and run, and it will print banana. Okay, and let's try apple. Okay, so another variable type is number. So let's say money equal 50. Okay, let's save it and let's try to print money. Okay, and it print money. So the difference here from a string and a number is that the string store data within the double quotation mark or single quotation mark, and the string does it does not matter what is in here. It's just data, so you can just type anything you want. Even if you can just write 50 here, and it will run basically the same thing. So let's try to print my name also. And as you can see, it print 50 and 50. But the difference between a string and number is that number you can add it to get together. So let's go to here. I have prepared a file here, a number operation. So it's basically like normal math where you have plus, minus, multiply, divide, and power. So let's print that file, num_op.py, and it will print out 3 minus 1, 30. And so let's check it if it's correct or wrong. So 1 plus 2 is 3, that's right, and minus 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Okay, 5 times 6 is 30. 7 divided by 8 is 0.875. Okay, and power 9 to the power of 2 is 11, but that's wrong because 9 to the power of 2 is like 81 or something. So why is this? It's because that we're using the wrong symbol here. So basically, normally when you try to find, like calculate the power, you normally use this symbol. But in Python, we use another symbol. We use the star symbol 2 times. So multiplication use the star symbol once, and the power use the star symbol twice. So let's save it and run again. And the outcome is 81. So yeah, this is now correct. So basically, Python works the same as math, where if you have a long line of operation like answer equal 1 plus 2 times 3 minus 5. So let's try to print answer. Okay, so the answer here is 2. 1 plus 2, that's 3, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 minus 5 is 4. But the answer is 2. Why is this? Because basically, like in math, we use the operation rule here. So we first work with parentheses, and then power, and then multiplication, and then addition. Multiplication and division is on the same level, and addition and minus is on the same level. And we work it from left to right. So first we check the parentheses, there's no here. So power, there's none here. And multiplication, so here 2 times 3 is 6. Addition, 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. So let's check the answer, it's 2. So that's how it works. And if we want to, if we want the answer to be like what we started with, we just put a bracket here, and let's run it again, and it will be 4 like the first time. So that's number operation. Another function of Python is that it can tell you the type of variable. So to do that, we just put it into print and here type of the variable plus. Okay, I use comma to separate the plus and the type function, and the same thing here. Okay, I'll just do it for plus and divide, because that's the two main variable type that we will look at. Okay, so let's save it and run. Okay, so another thing about number is that it have two main variable type. So the first one is an int, and the second one is a float. For the variable plus, it print 3 and the class is int. And for the variable divide, print 0.875 and the class is float. So the difference between int and float is that int is an integer. It stores whole number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And float, it store all the numbers such as 0, 0.01, 0.2, 0.3, 0. And stuff like that. It stores decimal, while int just store the integer. So that's basically the main difference between int and float. And notice here that in divide we put 7 and 8 here, and they're both integer, but when we do the calculation, the outcome is a float type. So basically, when you use divide in Python, it will automatically convert the answer into a float. So that's why this one, even though we first started with an int, it ended up being a float. So to recap, we have now learned 4 main variable type: a string like this one, a list like this one, and number, which contain 2 different variable type, the int and the float. So that's all for now. This is just the basic variable of Python. There are 2 more, the tuple and the dictionary, which I didn't explain because we don't need to understand that right now, because this is just the basic. So for my next video, I will explain about condition, if else statement. That's all.